Hello guys, welcome back to Tali's Kitchen, and today we're going to be learning how to make mitai. Now this turned out incredibly delicious, really soft. Mitai is originally a Swahili snack made from yeast dough, and then we'll go ahead and cover this with sugar at the end. So without any further ado, let's learn how to get this done. So to create our soft dough, we're going to start here with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So add that to a bowl and then go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of yeast. Up next, I'm going to be adding here a quarter teaspoon of baking powder. And then I have here a half a teaspoon of cardamom powder, but I'm only going to be adding half of it. So a quarter teaspoon of cardamom powder. Save the remaining one, we're going to use it later. And then lastly here, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of margarine, or you can use butter if that's what you have. So go in with your clean hands and make sure everything is nicely mixed together. And then we'll go ahead and start adding our wet ingredients. So I'm using here coconut milk, warm coconut milk. So I'm starting here with a half a cup of coconut milk. So I'm just adding it gradually, but in total I use 3/4 cups of coconut milk. So go in with your hands and mix everything together until you come up with a really nice soft dough. So here I'm doing a quarter cup of coconut milk. And then just go in and knead this. At this point, do not add any more coconut milk. Just knead this until you get a really nice soft dough like you can see here. So I'm going to cover this and let this rise for about 1 hour, and then we'll come back to it. It's been about an hour now and my dough is nicely proofed. You can see the air bubbles in there, so this is good to go. So I'm just going to put this on my counter and then we're going to start rolling this out. So go ahead and dust your counter with a little bit of flour and then just spread out your dough. So once you get a nice beautiful shape like you can see here, we're going to start cutting out our mitai pieces. Mitai basically has diamond like shapes, and that's what we're going to try to achieve here today. So pick the individual stripes and cut them in a diagonal manner to get that sort of diamond shape. So you can see I'm cutting this in a diagonal direction. So once you have them, just arrange them on your counter, and then we're going to allow this to rise for about 10 minutes before we put this in the oil to fry. At this point, you can start heating up your oil as we prepare to fry this. So it's been about 10 minutes now and my dough is nicely proofed, and I'm going to start frying this. So gently place them inside your hot cooking oil. Make sure it's really hot, but also you're supposed to be cooking this on medium heat. Do not cook this on very high heat. So go ahead and keep turning your mitai until you get a nice even color. You have to keep turning them if you want all of them to be the same shade. And then once you've gotten your shade of desire, go ahead and drain this out from the oil. I'm going to go ahead and start preparing our glaze now. So in a pan, go ahead and add 3/4 cups of granulated sugar and then add in a half a cup of water. Lastly here, I'm going to be adding a quarter teaspoon of cardamom powder, and this is just the remaining cardamom powder that we had initially. So we're going to cook our sugar on medium to low heat until all the sugar it dissolves and it comes to a boil. Now to check if your sugar is ready, go ahead and use your fingers, and we're looking for a string-like consistency. Now if you achieve this string consistency, it means your sugar is ready. If you don't, go ahead and wait until you get that string-like consistency. So add in your mitai into your pan, and initially here I'm using a spatula to make sure everything is coated before we start tossing and shaking this. The shaking slash tossing process basically means holding your pan on both sides and then gently tossing and swirling your mitai in there. So we're going to do this until our sugar crystallizes on the mitai. So take your time here, make sure you're doing this between medium to low heat, and slowly by slowly your sugar is going to begin crystallizing like so. Now, if you put in your mitai in the sugar too early, you're going to spend a lot of time tossing your mitais here. So make sure you achieve that string-like consistency before you add in your mitai to your sugar. My mitais here are ready and I'm going to serve this. Now this turned out incredibly delicious, guys. Absolutely soft. Just look at that. It was nicely fluffy on the inside, absolutely nicely crunchy on the outside, and this is definitely a must try recipe. So make sure to try out this recipe and let me know how it goes in the comment sections below. Remember to follow, to like, to subscribe, to share, and I will see you all next time with another amazing recipe. Bye guys.